הזה שלי אתה לא מכיר ואני שלא מכיר. You know Shitsvok?
Yes.
So he did one video and יש שם כאילו, רבי יהושע יודע.
איזה שיר?
I don't know, you know what it is? No, you know what it is? This is the Hebron Yeshiva. Yes, it is.
It's Photoshop.
Brady, nice job.
Brady took me out of it.
Yeah, I was doing a great job. That was sketchy. Right shirt. But where's the Saloni? As possible. Like the room. Whatever you do, as less as possible. Like, you don't need
Guys, before I get the mic, I'm gonna sing.
Okay, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen. Quiet. Gentlemen, Rabbi say, well, some guys say, I always say dear friends. Dear friends, everyone please take a find a seat. David Shachar, I don't want to call any names. Sit. Okay, Rabbi say, Birshut, Rosh Yeshiva, Shalita, and Birshut all the Rabbanim. Okay, welcome everyone to Bli Ayin Hara, our annual Siyum. As the Hirschhorn intimated before, it was not obvious last year at this time that what would be, we didn't know what we were looking forward to, we didn't know what it was going to look like. And thank God, all the ups and downs, we were able to make it. We had a wonderful year. You guys are fantastic. You guys are great. A lot of challenges. Baruch Hashem, life is full of challenges. And it's good to have them when you're young. The Siyum is dedicated in memory of Bas Mitzvah, in memory of my first wife, Zipporah Bracha, and sponsored by my dear in-laws, Mr. Abraham Levine and Trudy Levine, and we wish my mother-in-law the best possible situation, best possible health that she could possibly be in. I miss my phone. Many years of good health and happiness, and not just from all of his children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, including his son who learned in our yeshiva, Benji, Dr. Levine, and maybe some more will come, some grandchildren. Okay. Okay, Rabosai, what do we have? Gentlemen, as I was saying, it's a tremendous accomplishment, everything we did this year, including, especially celebrating tonight, our learning and mastering a whole Masechet, not an easy one, Masechet Sotah. It's a very interesting Masechet, it's a very fun Masechet, and all of us who learned it really got into it. I was really seeing and watching you with your chazaras and with your chabrusas and with shiurim is very, very impressive. And it is certainly your accomplishment. It is certainly something to appreciate and something to be proud of. However, we must all, of course, realize that we didn't come to this accomplishment ourselves. We're learning the second sota that when things are tough and things are hard, the people are not, the husband, wife, they're having a hard time. They don't go unaccompanied. They're accompanied with Shnei Talmidei Chachamim. And when they go, they don't go, I don't know where, they go into the Beit HaMikdash. And all of us, it's not such a great comparison, but all of us go through ups and downs, and we have difficulties, we have trials and tribulations. And the Shnei Talmidei Chachamim that accompany you, perhaps it's like the Shnei Malachim that we say accompany us and we bless and we welcome on Friday nights, I think represents, or represented by your Rabbanim, the Rosh Yeshiva, sort of the great Rabbina, and the outstanding Dolei Torah that we're blessed with, that are joining us tonight. Rav Nemitzav and Zeh Hashem, also Rav Katz, represent the Shnei Giants, Shnei Gedolim. But even on our regular Rabbanim and us, we feel that we're in this together, and we feel, I think all the Rabbanim will speak for all the Rabbanim, I'm sure, and I know that this is not, okay, we got through the year, and let's wait till the next group comes in and dedicates, but each and every year we have room in our hearts and our minds and our energies for you, and it should continue, Bezrat Hashem, for many, many years in the future. And especially we wish to Rabbeinu Shalita, and certainly to Rav Kesser and Nemitzav, in many, many years, to be able to inspire us, to be able to lead us, and to be able to bring us to this point with all the other Rabbanim and so forth who are helping. And this idea, I think, is also echoed again. We see in the Parashat Shavua, we have the Paraduma, the person who's Tamei mate, he can't get out of himself. You always need someone else. You need someone else to be Mazeh. And it's interesting is that the person, the Kohen, who does the work, who does the Torah for his B'tahir, he also comes out, he doesn't go out unscathed. He has a little bit of an effect, apparently affects him, but still it won't stop him, and it's possible that some of you very dedicated Rabbanim, perhaps, not perhaps, for sure, if they would have spent less time with you and all of your needs, whether it's learning and support and everything else, would have spent a lot more time in their own spiritual and intellectual and Torah growth, and perhaps it took a toll, but they're very, very happy, and it's all for the best for Klal Yisrael that we are here, and we're so happy to do it, and we're so happy to always be here. Okay, so these double messages are here and are important, of being proud of ourselves and doing it ourselves and being able to take it. And now some of us are coming back next year, some of us are not. Whoever's not, we wish you a lot of hatzlacha in all your endeavors, and we have full expectation you'll go on to make many siyumim and be very accomplished in Torah in the future. Whoever is coming back, we have the same expectations, but Bezrat Hashem will give you the stronger wish in the future. And at this point, it's our tremendous chus to hear from Aryeh Rabbeinu Rav Nemitzav Shlita, who will address us. הרב יחב שם משם.
Abraham means you are on a high level, like a more level of the Mishkan, you are on so high level, it's enough, you shouldn't ask for more. In this point, it was said no. A person, as long as he's giving, should ask for more. He shouldn't stay on the niftar nachai b'sholem v'bech b'sholem. A giving person should always strive for more, not in Kashmir, but in Ruchnius. Not on the baby he wanted to be grand doing with his country, but everyone on his place should strive for more ruchnius, for a higher level. This is more to measure them. So if you hear we are on the Siyum, it's the minimum made. Everyone has learned, deserves everything, but there is no Rav Lachem. It's never enough. One should always strive to learn more, be higher in Torah, be higher in Yerushalayim. The people, part of them return to the Chutz La'aretz now. Of course, we ask the Baruch to help them be Tziskim B'Sholem and Be'echem B'Sholem. But they should know that always the demand to greatness, to be greater. Those who return to the yeshiva is certainly good. Those who don't return to the yeshiva should become greater in Chutz La'aretz, wherever they are, they should become greater, should remind all what Arabina did for them to become Damdonim, to become Yirei Shamayim. Arabina's way was great, and they should strive to help the yeshiva help themselves be greater and greater, and let the yeshiva remain in contact with the yeshiva, and should always strive to greatness in Torah and Yerushalayim, and the Baruch will help them, bless them all.
We should never say to ourselves, Rav is enough. Yes, remaining a Siyum tonight, but a Siyum is at the end. A Siyum is an accomplishment, and we should go on to grow and grow and grow, and we should always remember and remind ourselves of all that Rabbeinu did for us, and we should all become to be Chachamim, Yirei Shamayim, and go from greater to greater, and the Yeshiva should always have nachat, a lot of nachat from you. And many of the boys, particularly Shanabet, were very moved and wanted to stay, and they finished the Seder Kiddushin. So before we're getting on order of what we learned this year, before we get to the big Siyum of Sotah, I'd like to call Melech, I'd like to call Hori, I'd like to call Gantrow, and Boyne, David Boyne, and Matthew Gantrow, first names, last names, to make a Siyum, B'ezrat Hashem HaKiddushin. And at this point, as they're coming up, I wanted to say in, and I want to point out, in addition to all the thanks that Rav Hirschhorn gave in the beginning and the Rosh will give at the end, B'ezrat Hashem, we want to thank Kobe Yitzchak for coming and being with us. Many of you don't even know Kobe Yitzchak, he works behind the scenes, and he unfortunately, as you know, cannot stay as a Suda Mitzvah he could be at, but he can't stay for the dancing, as he's in here for Avilut for his father. But We want to really thank him for doing so much, especially in the corona behind the scenes. Where am I on the side? You guys, you need the mic. You need the mic. Come up here.
Over here, over here.
Where's the hoodie?
I think I'm speaking first.
All right, fine.
Stand on the podium. Move it back, move this back.
However, after this year, we're not going to be dancing. We're going to start gittin, then we're going to have can't speak, then it's going to be focusing on the dance.
Mike, this stays here.
What's holding? You're speaking and then saying the end of the Gemara?
No, what are you saying? What are you saying the end? No, I'm not saying the end.
Where is it? Rabbi.
We got our people over there.
Oh boy. I thought big wizards.
No.
This thing fixes everything on there.
Buddy, you're reading the end of the Gemara?
Yeah.
Okay. Bershus, Marina of Nevezal Shlita, Shus, Rosh Yeshiva, Shus, my Chaverin, and Achron Chavid, Bershus, all the Rabbanim, all the Avrechim, who come in every day and do what they love most, teach the boys Torah. I wouldn't call it anything short of a schus, just to see all the Avrechim, all the Rabbanim come in every day, and just to learn from their actions how they live a Torah life. Kal v'chomer, them teaching us Torah. Really an amazing schos. Ashreinu Zachinu. To put into perspective how to take the yeshiva, how to learn from the yeshivos, Chashivas HaTorah, we have to understand what are we doing at a Siyum. We mentioned B'nai Rav Papa, but there's a reason why. The commentators explain that when Rav Papa used to make a Siyum on every Masechta, he used to make a huge party every time and invite his 10 sons. Through this, he would uplift the Kavod Torah, and through that we see that his sons became huge Talmidei Chachamim. And that's what the yeshiva did for us tonight. We can see the yeshiva, how much Chashivas Torah they have, how much they do. They rented out a whole wedding hall for us. They made a whole thing just to show how the Chashivas of Torah and what Torah means to every Jew. Thank you so much on behalf of myself and on behalf of all the Talmidim. Shkoyach. Now, 1 year isn't enough. 2 years, even 3 years wouldn't suffice to get all this yeshiva has to give. And I really believe personally, as much as in Shana Aleph, your eyes become open to the Hashkafa Shel Torah. You really understand what it means to live a Torah life. Coming Shana Bet and continuing your years in yeshiva really just makes it like a chalos for the rest of your life. Puts you on a trajectory to live a Torah life as Hashem. How is that done? We surround ourselves with B'nai Aliyah, the Shana Bets, the Shana Gimels, the Shana Aleph, around January time. And it's this being surrounded by all these role models that really sends us off in life and really leads us to build a strong home full of Torah, mitzvos, Gemilos Chasadim. And it was this exact thing that Korach did wrong in last week's parasha. Korach, he was a big Talmid Chacham, we know. He separated himself from the klal and he left himself up to his own machshavos. And that's what led him astray. He wasn't surrounded by B'nai Aliyah. He was by himself. And that's what caused him to make a macha and do a great aver against Klal Yisrael. You're great. Shus of Cat Shlita, just to finish up, it's talking about being surrounded by a growth-oriented chevra. And that's exactly what Korach did wrong. Korach, big Talmid Chacham, he left to his own machshavos, wasn't surrounded, didn't have guidance of Torah, didn't have a chevra, and he made a big machal. Coming Shana Bet, surrounded by a good chevra, you can leave Shana Aleph. You're gonna know that there's a hashkafa shel Torah. Coming Shana Bet will just cement that into place, and with that, we'll be Messiah and Kedushin.
Rishus Rosh Yeshiva, Rav Netiv Shlita, Rav Kat Shlita. Then the Kedushin finishes off with Tanya Rabbi Aryeh. Rabbi Aryeh teaches in the Brisa, Omer Mania, Rabbi Aryeh Omer. Mania Tani Kol Umnos, Shabola Mani Melamed, Eni Melamed Es Bini El Torah. Rabbi Aryeh says he pushed aside all the other trades and practices of the world, and all he taught his son was Torah. Shkol Umnos Shabola in Omedes Lo, El Bime Yaldusa, El Bime Ziknaso, Hayu Motel Bira. So all the other umnus, all the other trades, all the other things you can do with your life, you can make some money, be good for that time, but once you get older, you have nothing anymore. It runs out, money runs out, and yeah. Avatar Enokan, Omedes Lo Adam, Beis Galdusa, Venosenes Lo Acharis, Vitikva Beis Ignosa. Torah is different. Torah A, at the time you're doing it, the schus already starts right then and there. So, and that schus doesn't just last you from there, that takes you throughout your life. It gives you acharis, it gives you a future, it gives you hope, all the way into your old age, into olam haba, and forever. Gemara then asks, Beis Yildoso Mahu, right? So that this period of your youth, how do we know? How do we know what's it talking about? Omer, the Kaveh Hashem Yachlifu Koach, Yalu Ever Nisharim. Alright, literally right, someone who hopes in Hashem, right, he's gonna have a renewed strength, Yalu Ever Nisharim. And he's gonna sprout wings like an eagle. He's like Nosu Ma'omer, Odin Vum B'Sevim D'Shenim V'Ranim, you. I know you'll further be fruitful in your old age. D'Shenim V'Ranim you, and you'll be vigorous and keep going in your old age. Avin Allah Chasar Yochsan V'Slikala V'Sachas Kedushin. Just like before. Some supposed to say quick word. So this Gemara, like for Netiv Bacher, it's an interesting Gemara because majority of us end up learning some other umnis of the Olam and going to college or working, something along those lines. So it's an interesting Gemara. So one of the Shabbosim where Hirschhorn calls out the guys and tells them to say a quick Devar Torah. He pointed at Yoni Grossman and he said a nice Tosfos and Brachos. The Tosfos and Brachos that asked regarding Kriyas Torah, it says that Tosfos asks why Birgas Torah. I'm sorry. It asks why do we say Birgas Torah once the whole day? Most people, all people have hefsek here, there. Kal v'chomer if someone's working or doing a lot of different things with his life. So Tosfos answers over there that a person since the person has a mitzvah of Talmud Torah called his whole life, the entire day, his mind never disconnects from Torah. His mind never disconnects from the base medrash. So if he's even for someone learning all day, and for sure for someone that's working, even you're gonna have big hefseks. But if you're able to really keep your das on the Torah, really always be looking to return to the base medrash and looking to get back as fast as possible, using your extra minutes here and there to learn the Daf of Gemara, do the most you can, then I can't say a shot's MS 100%, but it seems that you could have one continuous mitzvah of Talmud Torah the entire day, whether you're learning or even if you have to work, you could still get that the whole day. So, shkaya.
Hajr alach Mesechus Kiddushin v'Hajr chalach. Daitan alach Mesechus Kiddushin v'Daita chalach. Lo nisn Shay minach Mesechus Kiddushin v'lo tisn Shay minach. Lo ba'amadein lo ba'adasei. Hajr alach Mesechus Kiddushin v'Hajr chalach. Daitan alach Mesechus Kiddushin v'Daita chalach. Lo nisn Shay minach Mesechus Kiddushin v'lo tisn Shay minach. Lo ba'amadein lo ba'adasei. Hajr alach Mesechus Kiddushin v'Hajr chalach. Daitan alach Mesechus Kiddushin v'Daita chalach. Lo nisn Shay minach Mesechus Kiddushin v'lo tisn Shay minach. Lo ba'amadein lo ba'adasei. Here Tom Banacha Adonai Eloheinu v'lehem Seinu Shedei Taroscha Umnaseinu Bolam Hazeh V'tehei Imanu Olam Haba Chanina Bar Papa Rami Bar Papa Nachman Bar Papa Achai Bar Papa Abba Mori Bar Papa Ravram Bar Papa Rochesh Bar Papa Surcha Bar Papa Ada Bar Papa Daru Bar Papa Harev No Adonai Eloheinu Es Divrei Saroscha V'finu V'fios Amcha Beis Yisrael V'niyah Kulanu Anachnu V'tzetzeinu V'tzetzei Amcha Beis Yisrael Kulanu Yodei Shemecha V'lam De Torzecha Me'oivei Techachmeinu Mitzvah Kilo Olam Hili Yehili Bi Tamim B'chukecha L'man Lo Yivosh L'olam Lo Yishkach B'chudecha Kibam Chisani Baruch Atah Adonai Lamdinu B'chukecha Amen Amen Sela Va'ed Vodem Anachnu L'fanecha Adonai Eloheinu V'lev Eseinu Shesamta Chalkeinu V'yoshvei Beis HaMidrash V'lo Samta Chalkeinu V'yoshvei Karonos Shani Mashkimim V'hei Mashkimim Anu Mashkimim L'divrei Torah V'hei Mashkimim L'dinar B'telim Anu Amelim V'hei Amelim Anu Amelim U'mekabim Schar V'hei Amelim V'hei Mekabim Schar Anu Ratzim V'hei Ratzim Anu Ratzim L'chayim Olam Haba V'hei Ratzim L'mar Shechas Shenemar V'ata Elohim Torideim L'mar Shechas Anshe Damim U'mirma Yechatzu Yemehem V'ani Aftach Bach Yir Tom V'nacha Adonai Elohai Kishem She'azartani L'sai Mesechus Kiddushin Kain Ta'azrini L'haschil Mesechtos U'spardim Achayim L'sayamim L'ilmod Olami Lishmar V'lasos U'l'kayim Es Kol Divrei Talmud Teresecha V'yahava L'zchus Kol Atanayim V'amarayim L'talmidei Chachamim Yamad Li L'zari Shalot Tamim HaTorah Mipi Zari L'zera Zari Ad Olam L'siskayim Ki B'his Halecha Tamcha Osach B'shachbecha Tishmar Alecha V'hagitzosa Hi Tzichecha Ki Bi Yirbu Yamecha V'yosifu L'cha Shinos Chayim Orich Yamim B'mino B'smola Osa V'kavod Adonai Oza Mo Yitein Adonai Yibrech Esmo V'shalom.
Before the Kaddish, I want to say a few words. Sorry for the burden. Bershus, Harav Neventzal, Harav Katz, Bershus Rosh Yeshiva. Mazel Tov to all those being Messiah in Kiddushin, all those being Messiah in Mesechus Sota, and for all those surviving this crazy year we had. On behalf of all the Bachrim, I'd like to thank all their Rabbanim and their families for all the tremendous Mesiras Nefesh they did for all of us this year. It was truly incredible to watch every day. Whether it was with Creditor, as his baby was being born, given shir, or whether it was Rav Wiesner on oxygen, given shir. I can go on and on and on, but Khan only gave me 45 seconds to speak. I'd also like to thank all the guys. Whether Shana Aleph, Shana Bet, or Shana Gimel, I want to thank you for pushing me and the rest of the Bachrim to get to this point where we are today. It was definitely not an easy year, and look where we came. I hope we can continue this fire into the summer and to wherever it takes us in the future. And I'm really, really, really special. It's really special. I'm able to be part of this incredible yeshiva, be part of this incredible group of guys. I will never take that for granted. We've been through so much this year, more than we could have ever imagined. I would like to take this time to call on my good friend, David Steinbach, whose father and my father went to yeshiva 30 years ago to say the Kaddish on behalf of all of us in memory of his amazing father.
Thank you.
Yisrael Yisrael Shmerabah. B'yamad Yivatzil Yitzchadta. V'lachai Messiah. V'lachsaka Yaschon. L'chai Allah. V'l'minei Karta Di Rishlei. V'l'shachlala Hechlei V'gava. V'l'makar Pulchana Nukhra Min Ara. V'l'asava Pulchana Dishmaya La'asraya. Yamlech Kuchu Briku Malchusei Dikare. בחייכון וביום אחרון בחיי לכל בית ישראל והקל עליו בזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יחי שמי עולם המברך לעולם לעמי המיה יסברך וישתבח ויסקורן ויסקורן וינשא ויסדר ויסלם וסלם שמי תקודשה בריחוד לעילה מכל בחסה ושרסה ושחסה ונחמסה תמירה ועמל ואמרו אמן. על ישראל ורבנם ועל סמידם ועל כל סמידי סמידם וכל מדה אסם רצת ויחד במחלסה ויסה ילכות שם רב אחינו פלס ורחמים חיימרים וזורי רבים וכנמק הרבים לשמיים ואמרו אמן. יהי שלום רב לשמיים וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. יעשה שלום ברמה והוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. I'm now going to call on David Perinsky to start getting.
Okay, so before I start the first Mishnah in Gittin, I just wanted to say that this past year was really a wild year, a crazy year. And for the guys that are coming back next year, I'm really, really looking forward to learning an amazing Masechta with you guys. And for the guys that are not coming back, we'll definitely miss you. But next year, hopefully won't be as crazy of a year, and we'll really be able to get into things right away. So the Mishnah in Gittin starts, Hamevi get me Medina Siyum. One who brings a get from a foreign place, Tzarach Shayomar. So the shliach that's bringing it needs to say, B'fanai nechtav u'b'fanai nechtam, that it was written in front of me and it was signed in front of me. The Chachamim say, Ein Tzarach Sheyamar b'fanai nechtav u'b'fanai nechtam. That no, the shliach is bringing the get does not need to say that it was written in front of me and it was signed in front of me. Ela hamevi mi Medina Sayam v'hamolech. Only in a case where the get is being brought from a foreign place into Eretz Yisrael, or from Eretz Yisrael going out into another foreign place. V'hamevi mi Medina l'Medina b'Medina Sayam. And if one were to bring a get from a Medina, from a state to another state, within a foreign country, Tzarach Sheyomar, the shliach will need to say b'fanai nechtav, that it was written in front of me, b'fanai nechtam, and it was signed in front of me. Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel Omer, Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel says, Afilu mehegemonia lehegemonia, even if it's being brought from district to district. Rabbi Yehuda Omer, Rabbi Yehuda says, Merekem lemizrach, from Rekem and to the east and eastward, V'Rekem kimizrach, and Rekem is like the east, meaning that it's right outside of the eastern border of Eretz Yisrael. The Ashkelon L'Daram, from Ashkelon and to the south. The Ashkelon Kidar, and Ashkelon is like the south. It's also past the southern border. The Akko L'Tzafon, from Akko to the north. The Akko Kitzafon, and Akko is like the north, right outside the northern border. Rabbi Meir says, Akko K'Eretz Yisrael L'Gittin, that Akko is considered like Eretz Yisrael for matters that are regarding Gittin. Hamevi get Eretz Yisrael, one who brings a get within Eretz Yisrael. The shliach who's bringing it does not need to say that it was written in front of me and it was signed in front of me. And if there are people that are going to come and challenge the validity of the get, that you can uphold the validity of the get through the signatures.
So we're going to sing one together in Lusota. At this point, not to keep the Rabbanim waiting, it's our big split to hear from our Rav Shlita.
Your annual jump. Yeah.
כבוד ראש הישיבה, תלמידים יקרים וחביבים, קודם כל אני מתרגש ממש. ישבתי והסתכלתי על החבורה שעמדה פה. לא רק שמתרגשים מזה שהם מסיימים מסכתות, אני התרגשתי עם דבר נוסף. כשמסתכלים על הפנים שלהם, רואים שהם בני תורה. היום כשאתה מסתכל על אנשים, על בחורים, ברחוב, רואים על הפנים שלהם שהם אנשי עולם הזה. ופה אתה רואה בחורים, עדינות, פלאי פלאים ממש. אני ראיתי את אלה, וסתם הכל הציבור ככה.
Okay, Rav Katzvik to the Kshus, Rav Netiv, Rav Yeshivat, and all the students. Louder, okay. Rav Katz said being here very much moved him tremendously to see the four young men standing here on the stage making the Siyum, but not only because they're Siyum, but because he can see on their faces that they're B'nai Torah. He says, unfortunately nowadays we walk in the streets and you can see a lot of people, the younger generation, that on their faces that you see Olam Hazeh. And he was able to see on the faces of the boys standing here that they're B'nai Torah, not only the boys standing, but many or all of them, I didn't say it. All the people here have reached levels of faces which can express the fact that they're B'nai Torah.
בסיום השנה שעברה לא היה סיום כזה. צריכים להודות לקדוש ברוך הוא שאנחנו יכולים מחדש לחזור לא נגיד לשגרה, אבל לחזור לשמוח בשמחת התורה. אני בעצם מקנא בבחורים שנמצאים פה ושלמדו. תשאלו מה אני מקנא בהם. מסתבר שאני יודע יותר מהם. למה אני מקנא בהם? התשובה היא זאת. נאמר למשל, ישנו הר גבוה מלא סלעים, כדי לעלות אותו, לעלות אליו, זו עבודה גדולה. ואנשים כבר התחילו לעלות. אחד עלה כבר 200 מטר, ועכשיו, תוך כדי מאמץ, שניהם, יש עוד אחד שהתחילו ביחד, תוך כדי מאמץ הגיע ל-300 מטר. יש עוד אחד שהתחיל יחד איתו, והשני התחיל ב-50 מטר. הוא הגיע פחות מ-300, הגיע ל-250. אבל אם נשאל מי יותר מוצלח, מי ניצח בהתחרות הזאת, ודאי שזה שלא הגיע ל-300. הוא הגיע ל-300 וזה 250. אבל מה התשובה? ואיפה הוא התחיל? זה התחיל ב-50, זה התחיל ב-200. ודאי שהשני עשה הרבה יותר. ככה הרגשה שלי על כל פנים, כלפי כל הבחורים פה. אנחנו התחלנו מילדות, מסלול של תורה, אבל פה הבחורים באו מעולם אחר, עולם אחר. אחד קצת יותר, קצת פחות, אבל כולם לא באו מתלמוד תורה, מה שנקרא תלמוד תורה, או לא תלמוד תורה. באו לכאן, והאמת היא שכשהם באים, השנה לא ראיתי את החבורה הזאת שבאה בתחילת השנה, בגלל הקורונה, אבל בדרך כלל שבאים רואים לגמרי אנשים אחרים. ובמשך השנה הם כל כך נבנים שזה משהו יוצא מן הכלל. באמת זה משהו פלאי פלאים ממש. כמובן שזה לא נעשה לבד, זה נעשה בהשקעה גדולה, מראש הישיבה, רבינה שליטה, ואחרים, גם הרב צבי, הרב חנן, והרמים כמובן, והמדריכים, האברכים שלומדים איתם, כולם, אבל בכל זאת, איך מתרוממים ככה, איך מתעלים ככה? אין לזה תשובה. התשובה היא שהנשמה של יהודי היא משהו אחר. הנשמה של יהודי באה מעולם העליון, ומילא יש לה כוחות, אלא אם קוברים אותה בתוך הגוף, לא מתעלים, להפך יורדים, אבל אם נותנים לה את האפשרות, ומילא מתרומם. באים לישיבה, באים למשך שנה, שנתיים, יש 3 שנים גם כן, מתעלים, מתרוממים, וזה רואים על הפנים של התלמידים. זה ממש פלאי פלאים, איך שהם מצליחים.
The cat says he's always jealous to look at all, jealous of you guys. He says, why am I jealous of you? Probably I know more than you do, so why am I jealous of you? He said, he'll say a mashal. People are trying to climb a high, steep, rocky mountain. One starts at about 200 meters up the mountain. He starts to climb and he gets to 300 meters. Another one starts at 50 meters, much lower. And he climbs up to 250. Who's higher up? On one hand, you'd say the one who's 300 meters is higher up. The truth is not like that. The one who started at 50 and got to 250 accomplished much, much more than the one who started at 200 and got to 300. He went up 100 meters, all in all, and the other went up 200 meters. He accomplished much more. So he said, that's the same thing I feel the Katz feels. When you grow up in a family where the atmosphere is Torah, 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 you're sent to educational institutions, Torah, Torah, Torah. So you're very much engrossed in Torah. That's normal, that's natural. But when that is not the education that you got at the beginning, and then all of a sudden you start picking yourselves up and grow and grow and grow, to a certain extent that growth is greater than the person who started at a higher point. Sometimes when you're starting at a lower point and you grow high, even if it's not as high as the others, but the accomplishments are much greater. So the question is, the question, where does this all come from? So of course it comes from the dedicated work of Rabbeinu, the Rosh Yeshiva, and his sons, Rav Tzvi and Rav Hanan, and all the Rebbeim who have invested so much in order to help you guys grow, that for sure. And there's another part, obviously the work which you yourselves have done. In addition to that, every Jew has a neshama. The Jewish neshama is different than the body. The body will take us down, 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 down. But the Jewish neshama is what lifts us up. We just give the Jewish neshama an opportunity to be able to rise, then automatically it will rise. And that's exactly what you guys have been experiencing this year, that you've given your neshama this opportunity. And that's why, as Rav Katz said before, we're able to see on your faces, this tremendous change which has gone in your lives. Rav Katz usually at the beginning of the year meets the guys, because when there's no Corona, he would come to the yeshiva many times, Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, and other times as well. And he would see the difference. He would actually see the difference, how the boys look at the beginning of the year and how the boys look at it again, end of the year. This year we did not have the zchut, but the end of the year project is still the same.
כתוב בפסוק, אם לא בריתי יומם ולילה, חוקות שמיים וארץ לא שמתי. אם לא התורה, חוקות שמיים וארץ לא שמתי. רבותינו אומרים, העתקתי פה מנפש החיים, הוא כותב כך, האמת בלי ספק כלל, שאם היה כל העולם כולו, מקצהו לקצהו, לא היו לומדים בשום מקום, כל העולם כולו, ודאי שהעולם היה חרד. אם לא בריתי יומם ולילה, חוקות שמיים וארץ לא שמתי. העמודים שמחזיקים את העולם, זו התורה. זו התורה. זה פלאי פלאים, אבל ככה זה, התורה היא תורת נצח, התורה היא מעולם העליון. והמלאכים רצו אותה, לא באותה משמעות כמו שאנחנו, אבל התורה היא עומק שאין לה סוף, וממש נצח, לכן הבסיס של כל העולם זה התורה. לא כל אחד יכול, וגם לא כל אחד מחויב, הכל זה לפי התנאים, ללמוד, להיות עסוק בתורה, כמו שהפסוקים אומרים, כתוב, והגית בו יומם ולילה, פשט הפשוט, יומם ולילה, בכל זאת הגמרא אומרת שאם אדם קצת ביום וקצת בלילה, הוא מקיים את והגית בו יומם ולילה. זה תלוי לאיזה אנשים שלא יכולים ללמוד כל הזמן, מאיזו סיבה שלי, וגם צריכים לדאוג לפרנסה, לבית, צריכים ללמוד כדי להתפרנס, כל מיני מצבים, ודאי שזה כך. אבל באופן כללי, כפי שאמרנו קודם כל, זה הפסוק אומר לנו, אם אף אחד לא ילמד תורה, חוקות שמיים בארץ לא שמתי. זה באופן כללי. אבל באופן אישי, כפי שאמרנו, כל אחד לפי כוחו. אבל צריכים לדעת שצריכים להיות מחוברים לתורה. מחוברים לתורה, היינו ללמוד בשיעור תורה, להיות שותף לאנשי תורה, כל מיני מצבים. זה בעצם החיבור, ובחרת בחיים, בעץ החיים. עץ החיים, התורה נקראת עץ חיים, עץ חיים למחזיקים בה. זה בעצם החובה של כל אחד מאיתנו.
The pasuk says, if it was not for the covenant of the Torah, repeat, I would not have the rules of the earth and the sky, the heavens. Chaim Volozhin in Nefesh Chaim says that if Chas v'Chalila there would be such a situation that no one ever, anywhere in the entire world would be learning Torah, then the world would not be able to exist. The only reason the Torah world is able to exist is because somewhere in the world they're learning Torah. Now, the truth of the matter is that every individual, this is on a general way, but every individual has the same key of learning Torah. Not everybody can spend his day and night, as it says, V'gita v'yom v'alayla, you should be learning day and night. That's not something which everybody is able to do, not everybody is necessarily chayav to do. But it's something which we have to have in our mind, that the connection to Torah is of utmost importance. V'charta b'chayim, one has to choose life. The Torah is eitz chayim. It's the tree of life. If we want to be connected to life, it's through the Torah. It's through learning the Torah. It's to be connected, be a partner in Torah. And this is something which we all have to try to strive for. Something else? Record? Okay, that's it?
כשאומרים את הדברים האלה שאמרנו, על מעלתה של התורה, מי שלא טעם את זה, לא כל כך מבין בכלל. אבל ברוך השם, כל מי שנמצא פה, כפי שאמרנו קודם, זכה לכך, גם אם זה שנה אחת. כמובן שאם אדם מחליט, יש לו אפשרות להישאר עוד שנה, זה לגמרי משנה את כל החיים. לא רק השנה הזאת, זה משנה את האדם, את המהות שלו. אתם זכיתם לבוא, קודם כל ללמוד תורה, ולא סתם ללמוד תורה, לעבור לארץ הקודש. לא סתם ארץ הקודש, אלא ירושלים עיר הקודש. להיות סמוך ממש להר הבית. אולי פלאים כמה קדושה אפשר לשאוב מכל הדברים ביחד. והחיבור לתורה במקום כזה גדול. לכן, מרגישים יותר את הדברים. לכן, קודם כל, אני רוצה לומר עוד פרט אחד. ישנה מצווה של קידוש השם. חושבים קידוש השם זה למות על קידוש השם. גם זה לפעמים כשיש מצב שאין ברירה. אבל למות זה לא כל כך קשה כמו שלחיות על קידוש השם. מתים פעם אחת. לחיות על קידוש השם זה באמת דבר גדול. הגמרא אומרת לנו, מה זה קידוש השם? הגמרא בסוף מסכת יומא. אם רואים אדם שלומד תורה, ואומרים, פלוני שלומד תורה, תסתכלו כמה נעים מעשיו, איך הוא מתנהג, איך הוא מתייחס, איך דיברו בנחת עם הבריות. זה ביטויים שהגמרא מדברת עליהם, דיברו בנחת עם הבריות. זה משהו אחר לגמרי, זו מצוות קידוש השם. מי שלמד פה בישיבה, הוא חוזר הביתה, והקידוש הזה, הם צריכים להרגיש את זה. אני למדתי בירושלים עיר הקודש תורה, צריכים לראות את זה על הפנים, איזה אדם בתורות לא נשלמה תורה, כמה נעים מעשיו, כמה מתוקנים מעשיו, אשרי אביו שגידלו, אשרי אבו שגידלו לו טוב, כמו שהגמרא מביאה, זה מצוות קידוש השם. ולכן כל מי שעוזב את הישיבה, צריך לקחת איתו את הדברים הללו. קודם אמרנו, להיות מחוברים לתורה, קשורים אליה, כל אחד לפי אפשרויותו, וגם העניין הזה של קידוש השם. והדבר האחרון, הכרת הטוב, שזה שייך עכשיו, כל מי שנמצאים פה, גם אחר כך להכיר טובה למלמדים ולמשקיעים, בראשם הרבינה שכל כך משקיע, את חייו במחשבה, לא רק במעשה. לחיות את הדברים הללו, להכיר טובה לכל הרמים, להכיר טובה גם לאלה שעוסקים בגשמיות, גם זה הדבר חשוב. מי דואגים לאוכל ולניקיון ולכל הדברים. הכרת הטוב היא דבר נפלא, ואני מברך את כולם, את כולנו, גם מי שלא נמצא פה, שהקדוש ברוך הוא יאיר את עינינו. אנחנו צריכים את זה כל כך בתקופה הזאת, להיות חזקים בחיבור לתורה, בחיבור לקדוש ברוך הוא. נזכה לכל טוב סלע, אמן ואמן.
This year you had discussed Shana 1 year, some of you 2 years, to be in Eretz Yisrael, Yerushalayim, next to Har HaBayit, Beit HaMikdash, Makom HaMikdash, a place where you can be inspired by the Kedusha which is around. We have an obligation of Kiddush Hashem. We all know the great level a person can reach by dying on Kiddush, because through Kiddush Hashem, there's even a bigger inyan to live a life of Kiddush Hashem. And Rav Katz quoted the Gemara in Masechet Yomah. What is Kiddush Hashem? It's if a person learns Torah, and then people look at him and say, wow, somebody who learns Torah is like this, somebody is so pleasant a person, how wonderful a person this has, what a wonderful person this is, his behavior is so impressive. This is a Kiddush Hashem. And this is something which each and every one of you can take back with you when you go home now, that people see you, yes, these are people who learn Torah. So besides what Rav Katz originally, the importance of being connected to Torah, to learning Torah, the second aspect is to try to bring Kiddush Hashem with you to wherever you go. And the last thing is appreciation, Hakarat HaTov, appreciation. To feel the appreciation for all of those who have made this year what it is. Rav Bina and the entire Bina family, and all the Machanchim and the Rabbeim and Avrechim. All the staff, whether it be the maintenance staff, the kitchen staff, everyone who has shared this year's or contributed to this year deserve the appreciation from each and every one of us. And as we now, and the last point is, this year has been an amazing, this period is a very special period which we have, where we have to be very chazak, to continue feeling a strong connection to Kadosh Baruch Hu, the Torah, and Rav Katz is going to add something on this.
אני מכיר תודה גם לרב יואל שתרגם את מה שאמרת.
We shall all be zocher to learn Torah Karei Shamayim B'ezrat Hashem B'mra B'emeinu.
Okay, Rabbosai, friends, Rabbanim Shlita, this is the moment that we've all been waiting for, B'ezrat Hashem. I would just echo what Gantar said before. It was so meaningful that David's parents were with us last year in the Siyum. And B'ezrat Hashem, David will continue in their path. Okay. And now we're also ready for our Siyum, Masechet Sota. I'd like to call upon 4 great Talmidim. You're all great. You're all fantastic. Eliel Sokolov, Ovadia, Boxer, Yonatan, Eliel Sioni. And I also hear, guys, come. And Boxer has the first minute. Apparently, very good. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Okay, you guys are great. Listen.
Who's up office?
You guys do yours.
I'm going to speech. So I'm finishing this up. I'm saying that you're
what? You're Kaddish? What are you? What? What's yours? The first one?
Yeah.
Whatever. 1, 2, 3, 4. All together. Yeah, stand up. Everybody stand up together.
Hold on to him.
Right there.
Everyone hear me? Rishus Rosh Yeshiva, our Nevitzal Shlita, our Kat Shlita, all the other Rabbanim, and of course, the Shechina. I'm very humbled to be able to speak in front of so many tremendous Rabbanim and certainly don't feel worthy, but will nevertheless try and give over a couple of words of Torah before I proceed to the Siyum. What a year it's been. Shana Aleph, Shana Bet, and Shana Gimel, we've truly seen it all. From the 2-week quarantine, starting off the year and then straight into Rosh Hashanah, it really feels like we haven't had one normal second. Whether it was the masks we had on us 24/7, to the old city lockdowns, or just not being able to see any friends, let alone go out for Shabbos. The beginning of the year was truly challenging from many aspects. Add on the shkuftos we had all over in Yeshiva, to the constant worry of somebody getting corona, and the fact that almost everyone had never been home out of their house for this long. There was nothing simple about the start of winter's month. Of course, handling all these challenges would have never even been possible without the entire Yeshiva staff, who made an unprecedented effort to get us here and went above and beyond to try and make the start of this year comfortable for everybody. Thank God, we also had some great times and people to help you mechazik us early on this year. Sukkah's break, the Chayver had a great time having barbecues on old city rooftops with very close mishpacha of theirs. The Sfardi stopped by at Aish for a little bit, totally shut the place down. We also had Rav Adish Shlita for Kabbalah Malchus Shemaim at 3 in the morning. Our Beitar neighbors became filmmakers with all the videos they had of us making noise outside the dorms. I mean, there were so many crazy things. If I told you guys there was an M16 in the dorms last night, you wouldn't even believe me. Baruch Hashem, we had our amazing Madruchim, led by the one and only Joey Frank. To make sure nobody was causing too much trouble along the way. Thank you, Joey, for all that you have done this year and the way you put up with the whole Shana Aleph. We are also excited for you to get married this summer and can't wait to see you back in Yeshiva next year. Fast forward to Hanukkah, and after an amazing 8 days and our one-hit wonder Al Nisim, it seems like maybe it's a turning point of the year. Of course, right after this, the entire yeshiva was hit with corona, tests, more tests, and a lot of time locked up. The environment in yeshiva had definitely seen brighter days. Weeks later, as soon as most of us had finally finished quarantining, we jumped straight into hammering. The Chaver pushed themselves tremendously, and we were really able to take the learning to the next level. But it didn't stop there. There was real momentum in yeshiva, even with everything else going on around us. Purim came along, and if you who remember know what a highlight it was. Some of us became Olympic swimmers, others professional house cleaners in the dorms, and after a couple of days of recuperation, the boys were right back at it. Guys continuing to really steig and grow. Things on the corona side were getting better with the vaccine, and after getting past the going back to America for Pesach craziness, we all enjoyed a good break and end to the winter's month. Now as Kaitzman approaches, it seems like we can have a Zman of less stress and difficulty and more time to focus on our learning. Of course, as we all know, a tragedy for Klal Yisrael happens in Meron and we're all truly shaken up. Just a couple of days later, as everyone is still trying to cope with what had happened, we as Yeshiva put a kumzitz together at the Kotel for thousands and make a powerful experience that we all never forget. It feels like right after we began to try and move on from this, Israel goes straight into war in Gaza, leaving many frightened and creating a very tense environment once again. But as we all know, this didn't stop anyone. Yes, it was challenging, and yes, there were a million excuses to be made for everybody, but we all kept pushing, continuing to be mechazik one another, and taking our yeshiva to experience to the next level, no matter the circumstances. It seems impossible that it's just a month or so later, and we're all sitting up here, about to make a siyum on Masechet Sota for Shana Aleph, Masechet Kedushin for the Shana Bet, and a Siyum for everyone on the entire year. But it's really no shock. Look around the room. With our Rabbanim risking their lives, having tremendous Mesiras Nefesh this year just to be able to sit and learn with us. With so much else going on, and each having families to be with, every Rebbe put everything on the line for the sake of their Talmidim's success. Shir Rebbe's in the morning, teaching through Shkuftas and giving up hours of their time to be there for each and every one of us. Avreichim, there as much as possible to be learning with the guys and help building their confidence in Limud Torah. Chog Rebbe's, spending hours and hours on end every Tuesday night, giving up their homes or traveling far and staying until late because they knew what it meant to the guys. An incredible group of Shana Becks, there every night with their Shana Aleph, being role model and continuing to carry Yeshiva with their learning. And of course, all of us could spend hours speaking about the different people that have made such a tremendous impact on all of us. Just to point out a couple people in particular, Captain Tzvi Sat. Captain Tzvi, literally working day and night to figure out logistics, corona tests, vaccines, and so much more. On behalf of all the Shana Aleph guys, I want to apologize for our lack of ability to follow simple instructions, and all of us asking questions that have probably been messaged in the WhatsApp group 1,000 times. I'm sorry. We would all not be here now if not for you and the unbelievable amount of work you put into this year for every single one of us, so thank you. To Rav Hanan, spending hours and hours on end to help figure out shiurim, chavrusas, and working with each and every guy to help get them what they need. Your home is open 24/7, is a place that all the guys feel comfortable to go whenever they need. The devotion you have to Yeshiva is truly remarkable, and we all can't thank you enough for making this year a reality. Thank you. And of course, the Rosh Yeshiva, who none of this would have been possible without. Treating every student like his own son, and not letting a day go by where he doesn't do his very best to be there for the Chayvei Yeshiva. Sitting through Shkuftas day and night, anxious about Corona, and truly putting his life on the line for the sake of everybody here. Rav, you set the tone for all of us and push every single one of us to maximize our potential no matter what. There's no amount of Akar Satov that can thank you enough, and we are all forever grateful for the sacrifices and devotion you had this year for each and every one of the Talmidim. It also goes without saying how appreciative we all are to the Asis, the kitchen staff, and every single person that helped provide for everybody here day in and day out. Awesome. Thanks to all these incredible Rabbanim and people. We will soon all be making a Siyum on Masechas Sota, and they just did on Masechas Kiddushin. A tremendous accomplishment in a year where so many excuses could have been made. Each guy in this room has become so much stronger and more resilient after overcoming the challenges we're all faced with this year. Making a Siyum on Sota or Rosh Hashanah Kiddushin is just a glimpse into everybody's achievements this year. Yes, filling in the box on a Chazar sheet feels great, but there's so much more going on here. It's the fact that through everything we have all gone through, we spent day and night learning. That we have a kesher with the learning we're doing and that we wouldn't give it up for the world. That no matter the situation, we prove to ourselves and to Hashem that we want to live our life being Ovdei Hashem in the most difficult circumstances. This year proved to all of us in a way like never before that real challenges not only build character, but create new opportunities. What's been accomplished this year is something that can never be taken away from each and every one of us, and it's truly remarkable. Every guy in their own unique way. It's often discussed that the workplace will be a very difficult time to keep up our Torah learning and continue to do it with a passion. If there were ever a year that put ourselves to the test and see how far we were willing to go for a connection to Hashem and His Torah, it was this year. Each guy in this room should be tremendously proud of what he has accomplished and will carry this year in the scepter with him forever. Whenever there's a hard moment in life, we all will look at our Masechas Sota or our Masechas Kiddushin with a big smile on our face, remembering the beginning of our journey and proving to ourselves that we want to catch it with Hashem no matter what it takes. The Torah is our anchor that we will never let go of and continue to be a torch along the way on the path of life. As Gemara and Daf Chaf Aleph Amud Aleph, which I believe Rav Hirschhorn may have mentioned, says that the Torah is our light and protection, that it's not only our protection in this world, but it's our protection in the next. The potential in this room is unbelievable. And Bezrat Hashem, we'll all be zochah to come back next year, Shana Ben and Shana Gimel, with an even greater fire for the Torah than what we have now, and continue to build on our foundations, not only in the Yeshiva Shalmata, but in the Yeshiva Shalmala. Mazel tov.
Guys are amazing. Right, sir.
I want to say thank you to everyone here, and Rishus Rabina, Rishus Navansal, Rishus Katz, and Kol Rabbanim. It's been an incredible year. Mishami Rebbe Batla Anava V'Yerslev. Rebbe died, and Anava and Yerslev was taken out of the world. Amar Leir of Yossi Utana. La titnei anava d'ikani. Rav Yosef says that don't teach that anava was taken out of the world, because I have anava. Amar leir Nachman Utana. La titnei yiraschei d'ikani. He does the same thing. He takes away. He said, don't teach yiraschei, because I have yiraschei. Now, how in the world can a morim go against what a Mishnah says? How can they say that no, don't say that? I have it, especially it's a guy with a thing. So the Sfas Emes says a beautiful, beautiful shot. He says that each one of them had so much anava. They had so much anava that they believed that if they themselves had Yeruscheit and had anava, then obviously everybody else did. Even though we know that there's on this Amud Gemara, there's so many things that were taken out of the world. They were not taken out of the world. They were given to the Gedolim. They were not widespread. But they were the Gedolim. They thought that every single person, they thought they weren't the Gedolim. They thought that everybody had it. They thought that everybody had it. Now, we have to understand what anava means, right? If they really were that. So a very simple line I would say to describe anava, we're very used to, is as be honest. What does that mean? What does that mean as be honest? Right? How does that connect to anava? It means that we have to be honest with ourselves on how hard we're trying. And that's not the only part of it. We have to know that everything we do is not only us, it's also Hashem. Hashem puts us in a situation, in an environment, in a family, in a yeshiva that lets us grow. And that's the ability that we can achieve. And no matter what each person is and what each person can do, they put in their effort, they try their hardest. Like one person could try their hardest, put the same effort as someone else, and they can finish in the Masechah and the Mishnayos, while the other one can make Masechahs on Shas or Masechah and Gemara, Siyum and Gemara. And that fits perfectly into what the Sfas Emes shows us. Because Rav Yossi and Rav Nachman recognized that what they were given was given by Hashem. And Hashem could have easily been given that to everybody else. And very possibly could have given it to every single other person. So how can they be the one, how can they say, I have it? So does Joe Schmo have it. Because why am I saying that he doesn't have it? And we have to assume that every single person around us, all we know is in ourselves. And every other person has their own thing. And may we be able to keep trying our hardest and at the same time understand that everything is from Hashem. Hadron Allah. Egla Arufa, Uslika La Mizata Sota.
Hadra Chalam Mizata Sota.
Guys, whoever's making a suit, everyone stand up, take out your Gemara, and set it on the bottom. John.
Watch the Kalish. Yeah? Because no one said everyone said for Yeshiva. Yeah? But,
Hadron alach Masech Sota v'Hadron Chalon. Daitan alach Masech Sota v'Daitan Chalon. Lo Midishem Inach Masech Sota v'Lo Tikha Sheminon. Lo Ba'am Ha'adin v'Lo Ba'am Ha'aseh. Hadron alach Masech Sota v'Hadron Chalon. Daitan alach Masech Sota v'Daitan Chalon. Lo Midishem Inach Masech Sota v'Lo Tikha Sheminon. Lo Ba'am Ha'adin v'Lo Ba'am Ha'aseh. Hadron alach Masech Sota v'Hadron Chalon. Daitan alach Masech Sota v'Daitan Chalon. Lo Midishem Inach Masech Sota v'Lo Tikha Sheminon. Lo Ba'am Ha'adin v'Lo Ba'am Ha'aseh. Yirtzon B'necha, Adonai Aleinu, V'layavotinu Shtei, V'adcha Uman Yisenu, B'olam Azer, Teyo Ermanu, Olam Abba, Chanina Bar Papa, Dani Bar Papa, Nachman Papa, Achai Bar Papa, Alamar Bar Papa, Rachmar Papa, Rachish Bar Papa, Surucha Bar Papa, Ade Bar Papa, Dor Bar Papa. V'aravna Anaminu Es Divrei Toratecha, B'china Kriyat Encha B'Yisrael, B'nei Kulanu Anachnu Etzenu V'sei, Encha B'Yisrael Kohen Adei Shemecha, V'lomdei Toratecha, M'avei Techakmeni, Mitzvotecha, Ki L'Olam Hili Biv Kamim L'Fukecha, L'man Lo Yevush, L'Olam Lo Echshach, B'Gudecha, Ki Bam Chaytani Baruch Ata Adonai, L'Omdeinu Techa, Amen, 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 Tov V'ed. Modim Anachnu L'Chanecha Adonai Aleinu, V'lehevotinu Shesamta Chachinu Yoshvei Beit Midrash, V'lo Samcha Chachinu Yoshvei Kranot Anu Mashmim V'hei Mashmim, Anu Mashmim V'dir Recho V'hei Mashmim V'dir Dekim, Anu Amenu V'hei Amenu, Anu Amenu Mukal Mitzvah V'hei Amenu V'hei Mukal Mitzvah, Anu Ratzim V'hei Ratzim, Anu Ratzim V'chayim Alo V'hei Ratzim V'er Shachah, Shnemor V'ata Elohim V'ridim V'er Shachah, Anshei Damim V'mirma V'achetzu, Yamein V'heni Yatachvach. Yirtzon B'necha Adonai Elohai K'shem She'azartani L'sei Mesech Sota Shein Ta'azinu L'yitchil Mesechtot T'sparim Acherim L'saimam L'lemot L'molam L'ishmal Asos L'chaim Es Kol Divrei Pa'am Tortecha V'yavo V'zchus Kol Atanem V'amaram V'tamidei Chacham V'yamol Li'u Zari Shlo Tamush HaTorah Mipi Zari V'zer Zari Ad Olam V'tizkayim Ki V'yitalecha V'techneh Tanchei Otach V'shachcha Tishmor Alecha V'hakitzosa Yi Tesichecha Ki Bi Yerbu Yemecha V'yosifu Lecha Shnos Chayim Orech Min B'minam Yisrael Usher B'chavod Adonai Oz L'mo Yitin Adonai Yavrech L'mo Shalom.
I just asked for a point if I could say something quick. And I want to thank, first of all, I want to thank all the Rebbeim, all the staff members from Rabina, from Gabriel, from Rabbi Asi, from all the people that helped us become what it is. And also I want to take from all the students of Talmidim, I'd like to thank our parents for helping us come, giving us the opportunity, making this even possible to come here and have a great experience. And I just want to show our gratitude to all the parents that help all of us come and make this even happen. Thank you so much. יקדע ויקדע שמי רבה ועלמא דהוא עתיד לחדתה ולחיה מטיה ולעסקה לחיי עולמה ולבני קרקע ויושלם ולשכלך החלל וגבי ומקל פולחנה לופרעה מרעה ולטבה פולחנה דשמיא לאתראה וימני קדושה ברחום המופתה וקרב וספק וקרב וקרב ישיבר ואחי יכון וביום יכון וחי בכל בית ישראל בעגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם אומר מיה יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתעלה שמי קדושה בריחו לילה מקום ברכתה ושורתה ושלוחתה ונחמתה דאמירם ברמה ואמרו אמן. על ישראל ועל רבנה ועל תלמידי הון ועל כל תלמידי הון ועל כל מה דעסקים בורא תעדי עברתה כאישה הדין ודין בכל עתה ועתה יהי להון ולכון שלמה רבה חינה ונפיסה ורחמי בחיי לכם וזני ורובכם וקנה מי קדם ואהובון דברישמיה ואמר ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה משמיה וחיים טובים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במורב, הוא ברחמה ושלום עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל ואמרו אמן.
Go, go!
This amazing moment, let's say one Pitlav Tehillim, especially the Schluss for Shlomo Moshe ben Alka. Shir HaMelech.